I was compounding it like crazy, like crazy, like crazy. And then how they grow their ecosystem is by giving away their tokens for free. And so I'd be compounding those like crazy. So that a few months ago, I paid off our mortgage. It was $500
Yeah.
about 13 months ago, and I kept compounding, compounding, compounding. They pay very, very high interest rates. And
Which means what? Compounding, compounding, compounding.
well, compounding is what Einstein said is the eighth wonder of the world, which is I put £100 into a very, very high, I'm making this up, very, very high interest account, right? Which pays 10% a day. So every day I'm getting an extra, so the first day I get an extra £10, I got £110. I could take the £10 out, and then the second day I got another 100. I get another £10. Or if I compound it, which means I keep adding my interest back into the principal.
Oh, I see.
First I'm getting £10 on £100, then I'm getting 10% on £110, then I'm getting a 10% on £121, and so on. And what that leads to is exponential growth. And there's the rule of 70, which is that if I divide the interest rate by 7, if I divide 70 by the interest rate, that will tell me how quickly my money will double, how many, depending upon the terms when it's paid out. So I was compounding like crazy. This is the Cosmos ecosystem, in particular Osmo, and I do a lot of videos on this. Assets that you can keep in a particular wallet called a Kepler wallet. So I was earning 500% interest a day on Osmo in the beginning. So I was compounding it, not 500% a day, sorry, 500% a year. What was that? Just almost 1.5% a day. I was compounding it like crazy, like crazy, like crazy. And then how they grow their ecosystem is by giving away their tokens for free. And so I'd be compounding those like crazy. So that a few months ago, I paid off our mortgage.
That's mad. All starting from 500 quid just over a year ago.
$500.
$500.
Yeah.
That is mental.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, that's the thing. There is some serious money that can be made here. But people got to be smart, do their own due diligence. Don't put in any more than you can afford to lose. Likely to lose money on the way. I've done that, and I have a particular strategy where I have some of my wealth, my cryptos, my Bitcoin, ETH and stuff, Binance, just locked away. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. And then I have some other altcoins that I just hold on to and I don't touch and I don't touch. And then I have this other bit over here, which I play around with. And then within that bit that I play around, I might have a little bit that I'll try on some really absurd, crazy coins.
So this coin that you invested in 13 months ago, just going back to that, like where did you find like the golden nugget of knowledge that made you go, I'm going to have some of that? What was that?
So I bought a particular cryptocurrency called Atom in March 2020. I bought it on a whim.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do any research. I didn't take my own advice. And then I was just holding it. And it pays interest if you just hold it. And then because I'm in the industry and I'm always checking what's happening and stuff and news websites, I got news that everybody who held Atom was going to get some Osmo. So then I took a look at, I said, okay, I'm going to get Osmo for free. Well, let me take a look at Osmo. So I took a look at Osmo. I looked at the project behind this coin, which is Osmosis.zone. I really liked it. And I thought, okay, 500% APR in the beginning. Okay, I'll have some of that, and I'm getting it for free. What's the risk? Fine. So I'm compounding, and then, I just stay connected. There's a social media app called Telegram, which is like WhatsApp, but Telegram you can have groups up to 200,000 people, and many of the cryptocurrency projects have Telegram groups. So I go to the Osmosis Telegram group. I sign up to their Twitter feed. So I follow them on Twitter. And, every now and then, also because I'm a YouTuber, I get information from the projects that I speak to.
Huh. So when you're looking at a project and considering it for investment, what are your kind of indicators that it's not a bag of balls?
Well, one is I think there are I suppose blue chip established cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, like Monero, like Ethereum, like Atom that I think aren't going to go anywhere. Although it's still possible, right? That because anything's possible, big companies go bust, big banks go bust, and then diversifying. So I don't have everything in just this one. I don't have everything in just this one. I have some in this one, some in this one, some in this one. So if one goes under, okay, well, the others are okay. And then the other thing is I don't have too many that I can't keep an eye on. So every now and then I have to prune my holdings. So then, so I have the blue chip, conservative ones. I suppose it's like stock investments, picking stocks. I would pick stocks from the FTSE 100. They're going to be the most stable and steady. And if I want ones that are going to shoot to the moon, I'd go to AIM, which is a small stock exchange for tiny startups that could fail or go to the moon. And then looking into the projects, what does it do? What does the project do? Is the team transparent? Is what it does it have utility? Is it the sort of thing that people are going to be attracted to? One of them is Pirate Chain. Pirate Chain, I think, is just incredible. It's a privacy coin, which means, Kevin, if you and I were to meet up and I were to give you 20 quid, that's just a transaction between you and I. Nobody would know. Here's £20 cash. With Bitcoin, people can see the transaction, that £20 worth of Bitcoin went from this address to that address. They wouldn't necessarily know that it was our addresses. With what Pirate Chain does and what Monero does is it replicates the privacy of cash. So it's digital cash. But Pirate Chain is way more private and secure than Monero or any other cryptocurrency that I've come across. So that I got interested in right at the very beginning. So I think that has utility. So I have a fair amount of Pirate Chain. But, it's a risk. It could go to nothing. So then I have to be willing to not put in any more than I can afford to lose. Even with Osmos, something could happen. There might be, even if there isn't a sham or a scam, there might be government regulation coming into place. And the government regulation shuts it down or drives it under, which I think is more likely because just because something is illegal, people don't stop doing it. I mean, what I did with Osmo was there was the Osmo that I got for free, and then I tested it. I saw how it was working out. And then I got other, what are called airdrops, other cryptocurrencies for free, like Juno and Chihuahua and Cerberus and Memecoin and Sommelier and Bitsong and Nomic. And slowly what I did was I added some of the other cryptocurrencies that I had. I traded to Osmo because it was doing well. So I tested it out. Now, it's not gambling. It's like you wouldn't, just if you were going to invest in a particular stock, I imagine you'd look into that company. So you do the same with a particular cryptocurrency. You look into that cryptocurrency. Some of them don't have any companies behind them at all. They're fully decentralized, run by volunteers. Or in the case of Bitcoin, somebody or some bodies by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto released the code. And that was it. And people running with the code.
Okay, well that's the element of risk then, isn't it? So you look at so with each coin, like I didn't know that you could look into the background of the coin. Sometimes you can't see behind the curtain. A lot of the time you can, and then you make an informed decision based on what you see behind the curtain.
Yeah, or you make an uninformed decision. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay.
I put $30 in a particular coin and it's done really, really well. I put $30 in other coins and it's gone to nothing. Okay, fine. It was $30. I'm willing to do that. I've done that with more as well, right? And it's gone to nothing. But the pound has risk. The dollar has risk. The euro and the pound are dying. Just look at their exchange rate against the dollar. They're dying. Look at them against the ruble. And all the governments can do is print more to pay off the debts, to pay off their bills. I saw something today. I think the National Health Service is 34% of government spending. 34%. Now, I support the National Health Service. I've benefited from the National Health Service, but I'm like, a third of government revenue goes in the National Health Service? That's unsustainable because the National Health Service doesn't generate revenue. You know, I'm a social worker. I don't produce anything. I don't generate revenue. What generates revenue are raw materials. Britain has coal. That would generate money. Just like Saudi Arabia has oil. That generates money. Or producing things like tomatoes. Or building things in a factory. That generates revenue. We don't have any of that.
Okay.
All they can do is print more pounds. So then having gold, silver, Bitcoin, perhaps other cryptocurrencies as well, is a way of preserving your wealth, like I said earlier. But it isn't that the Bitcoin and gold and silver are going up in value.